All right. Hi, folks. Welcome to EDHE 833 Contemporary Trends and Issues in Higher Education. This is in a 6 week summer session running from May 11th to June 18th. Because this is in a 6 week format, you'll see that the course does move rather quick. This is the same content, the same curriculum that you would receive in a fall or spring semester. So, because this is a summer session, the content is not watered down, and because it is in a 6 week format, we are going to move rather quick. So, I just want to make that caveat before we get too far in. But I think you'll see through the course assignments, uh, this is a very doable course for a summer session. It should be hopefully engaging to you, and I hope you're going to learn quite a few things about current trends and issues and how you can, as an emerging professional, stay abreast with news and trends and issues in higher education through the remainder of your graduate studies and as you embark on your professional careers. So I'm going to spend some time here walking you through the syllabus. I know you all can read this, but there's some certain things that need to be emphasized and I want to draw your attention to. So just walking through the document, you see my contact information here at the top. Email is generally going to be best over the summer, and I will do my best to reply to any emails that you send me regarding the course within 24 hours. Really, any day of the week, because we're running such short module durations, and they go over the weekends. So, if you have questions about the course, you'll see in the course shell there is a discussion board forum for questions about the course. If it's something that other students maybe that you think they may be asking as well, go ahead and post the question there, and I'll be checking that on a daily basis as well. But if it's something more personal, certainly go ahead and email me. My cell phone is going to be best to reach me over the summer. I really don't use my office phone hardly at all, so the best way to get a hold of me if you don't want to email is just calling my cell phone. And I do have two young children at home, so just try not to make it too far after 10 o'clock at night. Otherwise, you can call me really any time of the day. So as you'll see, and I'm not going to get too much into it now, we are going to utilize Twitter for this course. You see that I have created a class hashtag. And if you're new to Twitter, I can help you walk you through this. But Twitter is one of the best ways to stay up with higher education news, trends, and issues and developments that are happening. By the time things hit press in books or even research, we're talking 6 months or more out of date. So we really need to be looking at the most recent news and folks that are writing and publishing in real time. So we're not going to look too much at peer-reviewed research or scholarship or books for that matter in this class, because we want to really be focusing on what's happening now in higher education. So that's why we're going to use Twitter. And for those of you that are not using Twitter, maybe you can see how you can use it. And for those of you that are using Twitter, hopefully we are going to continue to develop and help you figure out how you can use it more effectively to receive the higher education news that you need to be seeing. So I've included my Twitter handle on here. You can follow me. You cannot follow me. That's completely up to you. It's not a requirement of the course. I do tweet and retweet quite a bit about issues specific to South Carolina, specific to higher education, and in particular, I have a strong focus on community colleges. So go ahead and follow me if you choose. But again, that's not a requirement to follow me. And if you have a current Twitter account that you use on a personal basis, feel free to use that for the course. If you're not comfortable using that, go ahead and create a separate Twitter account. That's fine as well. And if you don't use Twitter, please sign up for a Twitter account. It's free. You just have to go to twitter.com and sign up for an account. So the course description, we're going to spend this summer session examining trends and issues affecting higher education. This course topic does overlap in other courses that you're going to take, but we are really going to focus on what's happening now in higher education, and that's what makes this course unique. So I'll let you read through the learning objectives. I'm not going to run you through those list by list, but that's just an idea of what you're going to come away with at the end of this summer session. So in terms of required readings, like I've said in some emails already, we're not going to have a required text. Like I said, any book about current developments in higher ed is inherently out of date, so we're not going to use it. I want to be talking about what's happening now in higher education in this course. So you're going to have things delivered to you electronically in each module in a readings folder. I'm going to be asking you to keep up to date with sources such as the state newspaper locally, the Daily Gamecock on campus, national news outlets, USA Today, all of those things. And I can put up a more complete list of sources that you should be looking at for higher education news, and that'll provide you a good starting point for where you should be finding some of these things to be posting about on Twitter and referring to in the discussion boards. So a general overview, this is a fully online graduate level course. Like I said, this is not, online courses are not necessarily easier than lecture-based courses. It's just different. We're delivering the content differently. And you'll see that I'll generally start off each module. There will be a folder there for an introduction. There will be a video. There will be some type of an introduction to the module. And I'll try to use technology as much as I can so you can hear my voice and hear me talk about or even see me in some of these videos so we can talk about some of these issues. And then we'll rely heavily on the discussion board itself to have those conversations with me and with your peers about some of the questions and issues that I pose. So like we said, this class is in a 6-week format. So generally this class is going to move about 2.5 times quicker than a fall or spring based course. So just keep that in mind, that it's going to feel like you're doing a lot each week. It's because we're in such a short format that we're going to move about 2.5 times quicker. But stick with me, and this course is certainly doable if you set the time aside to devote to this course every couple of days. So the overall structure, you're going to have short videos, lectures, reading assignments, discussions. I'm going to have you use the course wiki. We're going to use Twitter, and there are going to be reading assignments that you'll read for each module, things that I post that are real current, that maybe even look back and give you a little bit of a historical perspective on an issue. So course communications, we already talked about the questions about the course discussion. Please utilize that, because if you're asking a question, more times than not, somebody else has that same question. So try to use that, and we'll try to collectively work through this semester. So course prerequisites, graduate level student, and you need to have the time to commit to completing this course in this 6-week session. I'm not going to run you through the netiquette and discussion expectations, but keep it civil. Don't be yelling through your text, all of those things that I hope you know how to do as graduate students, but it's here in the syllabus for your review. So discussion expectations. Online posting is a big part of any online course. So we're using discussions, we're using wikis, we're using Twitter in this class. So this is a general rubric for how I will assess your discussion and your participation, the quality, your replies, and are they on time. So I just look at it in terms of it's unacceptable for no credit, it's acceptable for half credit, and it's excellent for full credit. So I'm going to look at the quality of it. Did it add to the discussion? Was it solid thought? Was it a solid line of thinking? Were the replies adequate? I'll have very specific requirements for how many students at minimum you need to respond to, and then were they on time? Because this class is going to move so fast, timing is going to be a big thing as well. So if you hit all three markers in the excellent column for quality, for replies, and for timing, you get full credit. However, if the quality is excellent, you replied to at least 2 students, yet they were late, you're going to be at half credit. Um, so you have to hit all three markers in the excellent column to hit full credit. Likewise, you have to at least hit all three of them in the acceptable column to get half credit. There's no going back and forth. It's all or none on that. So if you have one of these three criteria that's a little lower, that's where the credit is going to be. So I hope that makes sense. Walking you through that a little bit more, but always refer back to that. So make sure you put up quality posts. You reply to the number of students that you need to, and that they're robust replies, and that you do these discussion posts and Twitter posts and wiki posts on time. That's going to be critical. So the course assignments, I'll walk you through briefly each of these. So because we want to keep up with the most recent trends and issues in higher ed, we're going to use Twitter. And I do admit this is my first time using Twitter in a class. So, if things come up, be patient, and we'll work through them if there's some logistics that just aren't working. But in essence, what I'm asking you to do during each of the modules is make a Twitter post about something you find and that you find interesting about a trend or issue in higher education, and tweet it. A lot of times it's going to be a link to something. Go ahead and include that link in your tweet, and then attach the EDHE trends hashtag. So they're all in one spot. So if you click on the link to here in the syllabus, in the course, it'll take you to the Twitter hashtag page, and you can see what everybody else has been tweeting. I've already tagged a few things in it, so you can kind of see how it's going to go, what maybe they should look like. So obviously Twitter limits you to 140 characters. So these are very brief posts. I find it personally sometimes hard to keep it within 140 characters. So this can be something unique that you tweet, or you can retweet something. But if you're going to retweet something, what I'm going to ask is that you add your own dialogue to it. Don't just retweet without adding a personal comment. And then when you view the Twitter hashtag page, in terms of replies, I want you to reply to at least 2 students per module. So reply to 2 students' tweets. And obviously they're not going to be greater than 140 characters, but that way I know that you're out there, you're looking at these hashtags, and that we can see what other students are interested in. So for the most part, and during this first week, anything that you're interested in, I just want to start using the hashtag during this first module. So pretty open requirements on what you can retweet, as long as it fits within the realm of it's a higher ed trend or issue. For some modules, I'm going to reserve the right to ask you to find something a little bit more specific towards a specific topic, for instance, that we're talking about in that module. But for the first module, go ahead and tweet anything that you like, just so we can get moving and we can get the feel of what Twitter is like and how we're going to use it. So in each module, there will be a module discussion board. I'll have a question or series of questions that I'm going to ask each of you to discuss and to talk about, and that you can put up a reply. And in your reply, quite frankly, I'm all about using technology. It can be in the form of text. You can put up an audio file recording of your response. You can put up a video, whatever you want to do. I'm really open to anything on how you want to go about that. If you're finding it hard to put things down into text on a response, you want to try something different, by all means, use the audio recording feature. So you'll see the state report is one of the most significant things that we're going to work on. So each student is going to be assigned 3 states in this class to keep up with current trends and issues related to those states. And you're going to build a wiki page. In a wiki page, you just keep going back in and editing it. I can put up another video later in Module 1 before you start getting into the wiki in Module 2 on how it's going to be organized, especially after everyone selects their states and I create the state pages. I can show you how to navigate it for those of you who haven't used a course wiki yet. But each of you are going to have 3 states. You're going to use online resources, using Google News, locating the largest newspaper in one of those states, and just following up with what's going on in these states in higher education. And you're going to have a wiki page for each of those. So how I'm breaking that up, and you'll see a discussion board forum in Module 1 to basically claim stake to your 3 states. I'm asking you to select one state from each group A, Group B, Group C. If you see, starting with California, ending with Wyoming, I created this list omitting South Carolina because we should all keep up with South Carolina based on population. I don't want somebody to select California, Texas, and New York and have all 3 of the largest states. So that's why I want you to keep up with one from Group A, one from Group B, and one from Group C. So in this discussion board that you'll see this in Module 1, it's going to be first come, first serve. So go in, list your 3 states. If you're the first one, you're going to get those. If somebody else has already posted on it, look and see what they selected and don't select those states. Only one student can have each state. There's more than enough states to go around for the size of class that we have. So that's going to be the wiki. I'll have some more details coming out on that. It's going to culminate in a final paper at the end of the semester. And you're going to look back, it'll be at least a 5-page paper, but you can use the resources that you've collected and put into your wiki. Then it's going to morph into a final paper for you. So although the state report project is 2 parts, they kind of feed into each other. An issue brief, I'm asking each student to write a 10-page issue brief. And this is where you're really going to dive into an issue that you are highly interested in. So you're going to dive into that specific issue. We're going to talk about a whole range of issues in this summer session, but this is your opportunity to dive into one very specific issue. And an issue brief is designed to inform practice, to inform administrators on an issue. So you need to have at least 5 different sources of information. That way you're minimizing bias. You don't just have one viewpoint represented about this issue. And it's okay to refer to one maybe more than others if there's a very large report out on this issue, but triangulate that information with at least 5 different sources. So we can talk about this a little bit more, but I wanted to introduce that. The issue brief is going to be due towards the back end of the 6-week term, but I want you to start thinking about it up front. What issue are you interested in? What issue is going to be important to you as a beginning professional, and use those to inform your topic selection. And I can talk to each of you individually if you'd like as well. And lastly, a final final reaction paper. And this is a minimum of 5 pages. All of our papers are going to follow APA formatting guidelines. So double spaced, use use the Times font, 1-inch margins, all of those things, and likewise for your references and your citations. But the final reaction paper is bringing everything we've talked about together. What are the big things you took away from this course? What did you cumulatively learn about trends and issues? And you don't have to rehash everything because I'm only asking for it to be 5 pages. But what are those things that are going to keep you up at night? What are the most significant trends and issues to you personally that you see that we talked about? And there are going to be different answers in this. So I'm asking you to answer those questions and list 4 or 5 very issues and trends that you think are going to be most important for higher education. There's not going to be a right or wrong answer to this. This is a personal reaction to the things we've talked about in class. Okay, so that's an overview of the assignments that we're going to work on this semester. So hopefully you're not too overwhelmed. Hopefully you're still listening. And you'll see how this fits into the grading. So I use points in the classes. Everything is a point. A point is a percentage. The total is 100 points. Okay. Trends and issues Twitter hashtag is 18 points. Module discussion board is 18 points. And the state report wiki is 18 points. So we have 9 modules. That means each of these are 2 points a module. So going all the way back up to that rubric we talked about, be using that to assess and award the points for these 3 assignments. And it's 2 points possible per module for these 3 assignments. And then on the back end, and all 3 of these, you'll see the course schedule are due in the final 3 weeks of the term. Is the state report paper, the issue brief, and the final reaction paper are 10, 20, and 16 points. So all of that adds up to 100 points. I use a 10-point scale. 90 points and higher is an A. 87, 89 is B+, so forth and so on. You'll see there. So late work, it will not be accepted in this class. The class just moves way too fast. I need everybody to stay on schedule, on time, and you'll see in the course schedule document that there are very, very specific due dates, not only for the 3 papers, but for each of the Twitter discussion and wiki posts and replies. We really need everybody working on the same modules at the same time, and we need to make sure that you posts get up soon and that you have an opportunity to reply. So that's why we have those very, very, very rigid due dates on not only the papers, but all of the other discussion, wiki, and Twitter assignments. So the back end of the syllabus, all the links that you need for academic honesty and ADA and learners with disabilities, all the links that you need with disability services. So if you have issues with technology, here's a few links. The most important is the help desk email and phone number. If it's something basic, I can try to help you with those. But make sure if you're having issues that you reach out to me and UTS right away. So hopefully you found this video beneficial and you have a better understanding now that I've helped you walk through the syllabus of what to expect this semester. So I look forward to learning with all of you, and I hope you enjoy the course.